Ireland, Éire, the Emerald Isle, our green little paradise off the coast of Europe, green with envy at those less broke than ourselves, our green fingers fumbling in an empty, greasy till. Welcome to Greem Tea.
Excuse me, hang on. Excuse me, hang on, Eric. Stop everything. Switch the music down.
What are you doing here this morning? What are you doing here?
Excuse me. This is Vincent Brown, and I am the arbiter of everything political in this country. And this election is no different.
Vincent, you shouldn't be here. Just hang on. Off
Desist. I will be keeping a close eye on everything that goes on in this programme, and I will not let anybody away with any sort of political agenda or self-interest.
Back off, Vincent. Would you get out of here with your purple rinse and your TV3 head on you?
How dare you?
Just go.
I'll be listening. Come back.
What next?
Any chance of a cup of green tea here at all? Or,
Oh, Micheál, I'll put the kettle on.
You can call me Mickey, you dirty thing, going forward. I wonder what these Democracy Now fellas are doing.
Monumentally. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the launch of our election campaign. I'm David
sorry to interrupt, David, but I'm actually the acting spokesman for the group. I'm Squintin O'Toole, and we are the new political movement, Democracy Now. No, we've changed the name, Tooler. Oh, yes. It's called Democracy Later. Yeah. Democracy Later, yeah.
The party is not monumentally ready to run, but I am. Yes. Lord Ross is ready.
We'll come to you later, Shane. But,
what Squintin O'Toole's trying to say is today we launch our campaign for 2016.
Yes.
We're an older generation wooing younger voters, or as we like to call ourselves, the Celtic Cougars, a united front.
I did not agree to that name. That wasn't in the minutes of the meeting. With respect, you didn't actually show up at the last meeting, per se.
I suspect he was in his Deauville chateau in France.
No, not on that occasion. I was in the Shelbourne. I had my own meeting there.
Point of order.
You guys missed it.
Can I clarify monumentally that I, Lord Ross, will be running in this election under the banner Democracy sooner rather than later. Monumentally.
That's a splinter group.
Okay.
That's nothing to do with us.
Gentlemen, we would now like to invite members of the media for questions. Please introduce yourself and your organisation.
Paul Drury, Daily Mail. Mr. Dunphy, would you accept that your career has been riddled with gaffes? Strictly entrepreneur, of course.
Well, yes, I do. And can I say, I have a very fine gaff for myself and my beautiful wife, Childsy, in Ranelagh. I have another beautiful palatial gaff in France. Not to mention my gaff in Morocco, although that could have been a drinking hallucination. Who's next there?
Aaron Splash Corcoran from the Sindo. I have a message for Lord Ross.
Yes?
You need to get back to the business desk in the paper straight away. You know, your column's only half written, you know.
Monumental.
This is some load of Should have sent Barry Ego down to this shite.
This is Paul the Hack Williams from the News of the World.
Hello, Paul.
Tintin O'Toole.
Squintin.
Your manifesto says you will eventually be Minister for Justice.
Yeah.
How could you possibly be Minister for anything?
Well, as I said on the 11th hour the other day, this Fianna Fáil-led government did not call the general election for March because they knew we would be ready and also knew that I would be the natural choice for Minister for Justice, obviously.
Okay, that wraps up the press conference.
George Lee from the Business Show on RTE. Can I ask Democracy Later, why won't you run now? The people need you now. Think of your children and your children's children to build your legacy, to stay the course, and not to run away when the electorate needs you most of all.
Stop it, George Lee. Stop it. That's a bit rich coming from you, George.
Modest Kerry footballer Paul Galvin is the GAA's fashionista and panto villain. Supposedly he assaulted a referee's notebook and gouged out a man's jaw. Well, whatever. But Honky Paul is now advising Taoiseach Enda on his new image for the election campaign.
All right, Kenny.
Hello there, Paul, my good man.
Let's get started, okay?
Listen, tell me here.
What?
How in the name of Jiminy Cricket did you get your ego to fit into those skinny jeans, Paul?
All right, you think you're a tough fella, do you?
Well,
you think you're a tough fella that can disrespect me, do you?
No, that's not what I meant.
Right.
I didn't mean any...
What's this in the paper?
Well,
What's this in the paper?
I don't know.
Look, read it. No. It says you're running away from the debates.
It's a lie.
You won't go to the fight.
That's not true.
Are you running scared or something, huh?
No,
Are you pussy, are you?
You can't hit me.
What are you going to do about it, huh?
I will turn the other cheek.
Rule number 1, if there's a fight coming at you, especially if it's a Cork fella like Micheál Martin,
Yes.
the response is not to run away.
No.
You fish hook him.
Fish hook?
Alright, you fish hook him, or you clatter him with a duster, okay?
Okay, Jesus.
Okay, Paul, calm down. Alright, that's the fight club bit out of the way, alright?
My God.
Next we're going to talk about fashion, okay?
Oh, thank God.
And I want to be straight with you, Taoiseach Enda, okay?
You don't look too fucking straight to me.
Concentrate. Now, what's the story with your hair like?
Oh, the Gruiga, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's thicker than a Healy Ray and it's more tangled than Bertie's cash flow. But that's politics for you, young Paul. Plenty of backs, sacks and cracks at the parliamentary party meetings, what?
Alright, look, I'll leave the Michael ring alone, okay?
mind yourself, thanks, appreciate it.
No, there's a couple of styles like that.
Yes.
Be quite cool, you know. I can give you the Hollywood down there if you like. You
Like
know.
Hollywood County Down. That was a bit hairy for the security forces, wasn't it?
No, it's Hollywood, like California, right?
Jeez.
Look, the whole thing comes off. Jeez, you're such a muppet.
All of
Here's
it.
a photo of what it looked like, right?
Good Lord, look at that. It's totally bald. No fucking way am I going to have a Michael Noonan looking up at me every morning in the shower. It's bad enough having him in the bus.
Alright,
isn't it?
okay, well, my most popular style, like, me Brazilian, it's fairly cool, like, you know, it's very neat and discreet line.
Yes,
It's named after the Brazilian landing strip in Rio, like.
Oh, I like the sound of that, although
Yeah.
I have to say I prefer to call mine the Knock Airport landing strip, you know? Sure,
Oi,
sure
well-
it'd take a miracle to get anyone down there.
Okay, alright, relax, okay, because, you know, this can be a bit ticklish, like, okay, alright?
Alright, okay,
Ready?
Galvin, old buddy, old friend, I'll lie back here.
Put on the wax
And
now.
you can give it your best. Now, give me plenty of notice before you...
What? What's wrong, like? That's the procedure, that's the way it is, like, you know, what's wrong with you?
fire at Knock Airport!
Oh, Jesus. Well, they wanted advice in your hair, like.
Fretful, anxious, broken, fearful, but still there are reasons to be cheerful. Here's Joseph O'Connor with his green tea diary.
So Mary said, like, how about a Joe O'Connor election diary? Election diarrhea, more like. Election, selection, erection, erecting a poster, electing a pollster, up the pole, up the yard, up, down, hoping for a turnaround. Pick a bale of cotton, will we ever cotton on, I ask? Will we, Willie O.D., Willie O.D., will they ever pick me? I pray to Saint Mickey that Noonan's a little prickly, and what about Tricky Dicky, or perhaps that Lucinda chickie? Baron Adams is just so icky. I think I'll just throw a sickie. Of course there's always a Healy Ray ticky, or even Boyd Barrett this sticky. Prick my conscience, why don't you? Somerville and Ross, I couldn't give a toss. They'll be in Dáil Éireann for a 5-year DOS. We need a real hero like that big guy from Bonanza, Hoss. Ever wonder how much they pay me for writing this dross?
And Joseph O'Connor's radio diary was sponsored by Lidl Toilet Roll.
Toilet roll, I'm on a roll. I often write a column before wiping my...
That's quite enough now, Joe. Now, where were we?
What's going on in here? I'm Sean O'Rourke.
This is Green Tea, Sean, and I'm doing an intro.
During the general election, Sean O'Rourke expects to be in the air 24/7.
Here we go again.
There's only one poll that matters, and that's between myself, Miriam and Vincent Brown for Election Broadcaster of the Year.
Do you mind?
This is my election to win, but first this report on how the United Left Alliance is doing on the doorsteps of Dublin. Good morning.
Yeah, hello.
How are you, mister? Fraternal salutations and the ongoing struggle against the oppressive tyranny of our capitalist overlords. To you and yours.
What are you going on about?
I'm Richard Boyd Gladstone Tudor Barrett, looking for your number one vote in the upcoming plebiscite. But you can call me Brother Richie.
Is that your manifesto there, is it?
No, out of respect for the United Left Alliance and the People Before Profit movement, this is called me Womanifesto, right?
What's the story with your accent? It's changing there.
No, that's my genuine voice of the people, right?
That's rubbish, you're bleeding tough.
Well, certainly, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Tough on crime, tough on drugs, tough on taxes, 83.5% tax on anyone earning over 20 grand. They're the super rich.
I see here you're going to reopen the Dunleary Baths as a public amenity there as well.
Yeah, for the great unwashed, like, you know?
Although filling with Evian water might be a bit over the top of things.
Oh, and like Evian is so not good enough for the people of South County Dublin now, is it?
Oh, I'm not
You South County Dublin neocon lackeys are all the same. You disgust me and my cliche Gavara friends. Power to the people, right?
At this juncture of the programme, I'd just like to say that I'm enjoying my cup of green tea very much going forward. And furthermore, can I say that I'm also looking forward very much to the debates next week with Eamon Very Gilboa and Taoiseach Enda going forward.
Hang on a second, hang on. Micheál, you've said your piece. You're not supposed to be in here. PCI rules are very clear. We're supposed to give equal airtime to all the main political parties, so you've said you speak now. No more. Back to the narrator. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'm sick of men being more interested in my breasts than what I'm saying. That was Miriam O'Callaghan, not me. Nipplegate, June 2010. She had a point.
Welcome to Prime Time. I'm Miriam O'Callaghan. Tonight I talk to new Fianna Fáil frontbencher Jim O'Callaghan. Jim is a Dublin City Councillor who is better known as the brother of one of RTE's biggest stars. That's me, Miriam. Welcome, Jim.
Well, thank you, Miriam. It's good to see you.
Despite your successful career in the law library, genuinely, what makes you think that you can make a difference politically in these fraught times for Fianna Fáil?
Well, thank you for asking that, Miriam.
Oh, you mean just like when Mum used to ask you to clean up your room, Jim?
Well, as I was about to say, Miriam, this election is all about change.
Change. There's a laugh. I remember a time when you wouldn't even change your socks. Never mind your jocks, Jim. Genuinely.
Why do you have to grill everyone? I'm your own brother. Brother, genuinely. I mean, what does a politician have to do to become popular around here?
How about die?
My hair.
The only difference between a flying pig and a politician is the letter F, Jim. Letter F.
Lying pig.
Try to catch up, Jim, okay?
Well, do you want to talk about the time you chased all my friends away because you're trying to kiss them? What?
There we have to leave it. No, Jim, we have to leave it there. Politicians will double cross that bridge when they come to it, and you, brother, are a politician.
It's impossible, isn't it?
And that was Jim O'Callaghan.
McWilliams is right, you know, you do flirt with everyone on the show.
Thanks, Jim. Genuinely.
Thy kingdom come. Now we're in County Kerry to meet a battered tartan flat cap. Not any old cap, mind you. This cap can even talk. Well, sort of.
This is a party political broadcast on behalf of the Healy-Ray dynasty here in South Kerry. There are people up in Dublin talking about saving Europe and saving the euro and bailing out from the monetary fund and whatnot. How in the name of God is talk like that going to fill the potholes and the barries between Carrigeast and Cappamore? Who is going to quench the tilly lamp of the Maureen? And when there are goats that need preening and sheep that need dipping, and furthermore, we're in a kingdom down here, and there comes a time when a king must hand over his crown, must pass on his flat cap to the next in line for the throne, and that man is Michael Healy-Ray. What are you, son? Now, Michael has never left South Kerry, so he don't have a word of English at all. And so he's translated now by his major trainer, Plastic Sheeting.
Yes, thank you, Jackie. Michael, if you'd like to say a few words. First of all, I would like to say to the people of the capital city, forget about the economy. Have ye not got more important things to be thinking about? Like how in the name of God you're going to beat Kerry in the football championship, like.
Live from the top of Liberty Hall in Dublin, broadcasting via the Sputnik satellite over Leningrad, I'm Brigadier Eamon Gilboa. And later on in the programme, comrades, we will have weather with Moan Burton.
What's the point, dear leader? Jean-Claude Trichet says we can't renegotiate the bailout.
That bloody civil servant, I'd have them all axed if Jack O'Connor would let me.
Long live Jack O'Connor.
Shut up, Moan. Have some respect. Oh, women. Now with our weekly look at Labour's letters, here's Michael E. Twee Higgins.
It certainly looks like Rabbit is attacking a few foxes, dear leader.
Jeez, just get on with it, E. Twee.
Joe from Longford wants to know why Comrade Lenin wore regular shoes, but Comrade Stalin wore boots. Very interesting query.
Well, that's easy, Joe. At Comrade Lenin's time, Russia was still only ankle high in the shite.
Very good, very good.
And now it's mystery sound time here on the show, and There it is. Can you guess what it is? And we've a call in from Wexford Town. Hello, caller.
Is it the sound of a stag grazing in Phoenix Park?
Wait a second. Is that you, Deputy Howland? Is that you calling in?
No.
Look, I know it's you, you hobbit, you. Stop pretending.
Well, is it the stag?
Stag? No, it's not. Is it? Is it a stag? Who picked the mystery sound this week? Where is Colonel Stagg anyway? Where is he? Is he out with his army? Bring him in here.
Colonel Stagg has just let his privates out for a bit, dear lady.
All right. Well, tell him he should be here on time for news from the front and future.
Right, yes.
And tell him to keep a better control on his privates.
What's your blood pressure, dear leader?
Okay.
Very good.
Now the weather with Moan Burton.
Expect a fresh but windy shower over Leinster House in the coming weeks, leading to plenty of bluster. There will be a depression coming in from Europe later with widespread Ollie rain, and we're all in for a bloody gut-soaking dear leader!
Right, yes.
Somebody think of
Jesus, Maul, get a grip, love, will you?
Well, that's a fine way to treat a woman. You're as good as rabbit.
Here we go.
The two typical men.
What?
Smelly, lazy men.
You're a sexist pig, Maun Burton.
Sure, we're all sexist now, dear leader.
But I'm not a sexist.
Have you not retired yet, he tree? Surrounded by has-beens and nobodies. Tommy Broon, like who the hell is he?
Don't know.
Somebody get me a front bench.
Like the Labour Party, the GAA has human beings of only one gender. That would be men. But now it seems even the GAA has turned against Mr. Grey and his sexist way.
Okay. Hello there and welcome to the Sunday game. I'm Des Cahill and
you can't say that, Des. You can't say gay on national television. Now, do you mind?
What did I say, Pat?
You say gay, that's a very highly sexist and highly discriminatory comment. You'll be in a lot of trouble for that.
I said game. That's all I...
No, you didn't. You said gay. I heard it. What did you hear, Kevin?
Kevin McStay.
I have to agree with Pat here, Des. It sounded like gay to me.
What?
I'm not saying you're a roaring sexist or anything like that, but you know, you have to be careful. That's my view anyway. Take it or leave
you
it.
did. You said it there. And if we were on Sky Sports, you'd be sacked, Des. Just like Andy Gray.
Sacked?
Gay. I tell you, sexism in GA is alive and well.
Right, what are we going to do about sexism in sport? Because it's all the buzz now.
Well, we're not blowing things out of proportion here, but myself and Pat, we drew up a new guide on terminology in the GAA.
Really?
Well, number one, the word ball has to change in our view. It's overly masculine. It should be replaced by the more acceptable term gland.
Gland? Well, how would you pass a gland? That sounds a bit
Well, you
weird.
can't use the term pass that has sexual connotations, but Pat has a solution.
Players should now be reported in RT Sport and elsewhere to have directed the gland.
What?
Likewise, score needs to be axed. Score, you can't go around saying score. Players now should achieve their goal instead. That's a much safer term.
Is this just all a little bit too
I'm not saying that you go on a bit, Des, but I have to go to number 4. We found the word jersey. Very offensive, breed of cow, derogatory references for women there, and these have to be replaced by the word blouse. So men will swap blouses at the end of the game.
And Pat, you've the last one, I think.
Well, this one is absolutely vital. You know, you have people referring to referees as blind bastards used in football and hurling and whatnot, and that term is wholly unacceptable.
Why?
The ref now should be known as visually impaired after making a questionable decision.
Sure, lads, the word game is probably undesirable inference as well. You know, in the game.
There you go again, making inappropriate comments. This is absolutely...
I wasn't talking about
derogatory.
Well, I'm not telling you your business, but talking about going on the game on, you know...
I didn't mean it
prostitution on RT television. That's a new law in my book. Imagine if Eamon Andrews heard that.
You're at me now. You're just dogging me now, lads. Would you ever...
Doggy! That's absolutely disgusting. Doggy, Kevin. That's sexist to animals.
I don't think it's... I don't think he was talking about animals now, Pat, but that's my view.
Just forget it, lads.
Out of control. Out of control.
Patrick Kavanagh by Anguish Fanning. An ode to the land and a son of the soil. I read him aloud and I shared his toil. Without literary pretension, now hear his political extension.
Gilbor the Snore, the king of Labour, an ex-political star. His DL statements give me an ailment, I've hit the bottle hard. I've a pain in me crevice from here to Ben Nevis, listening to Burton Ball. Windows are smashing, her policies clashing. I must take the boat out from Youghal. When I can't stomach, Howlin looks comic, Roisin's in for the short haul. Robert's bubonic, he's a sexist neurotic. The same again, general election, Stonewall. A change me arse, 'tis the same as the last. Nothing new in the Dead Sea Pole. If Stalin and Lenin saw these commie lemons, they'd feck them in a Siberian hole. Sure, the whole doll species, they're all talking feces, but to real concerns they're stone deaf. They lie, cheat and spin, and so what if they win? They'll all be working for the IMF.
And Patrick Kavanagh's Poetry Corner was sponsored by Borden and Mariner Peat Briquettes.
Every sod of turf is the shite of our forefathers' stuff.
You smell nice today, Paddy. What is it?
Diesel oil.
Ew.
Aye.
I once met Pat Kenny. He's quite a dish, but he'd be a political nerd now. Not like a no freewheeling nerd, but definitely a nerd. Pat?
Yeah. Hello and welcome to the Front Wine. Later in the show, I'll be having my weekly row with the Sinn Féin plant in the audience. But first, to my studio guest, the Taoiseach Brian Khan. Welcome.
Thanks, Pat.
Let's talk for a moment about your own tenure in the Drinks Cabinet, as it were.
Yeah.
And surely your biggest Drinks Cabinet moment was when you mixed up the Croke Park Agreement with the Good Friday Agreement on live radio.
Well, it's not as bad as when I mixed Jägermeister with Sambuca. But in my view, can I say in the record, the Good Friday Agreement was simply the best thing that ever happened in this country. Right. After we agreed to open all the pubs on a Good Friday in Limerick for rugby matches.
Yeah. LOL there. But on a serious note, I mean, how do you rate your performance as Taoiseach?
To be fair, going forward, a rendition of the Lakes of Pontchartrain during the party drinking in Galway at 2 o'clock in the morning was very flat in places, a bit ragged, if you like.
Indeed.
And with Philip Walton, or whatever you call it, the golfer lad, the impression was poor that night. So there are my regrets.
Yeah. How's your Philip Walton now? I mean, could you give us a blast of it, perhaps?
I'll give it a go here.
Yes, yeah.
My name is Philip Walton. I haven't played golf since 1995. I was a big deal with a big putter in the Ryder Cup. Obviously I play golf because I've only the one ball.
LMAO, or laugh my ass off for people not familiar with abbreviations. But really, Biffo, your tenure was all about Garglegate, Golfgate, Gormleygate, might as well say Gaffgate, and now you're out the proverbial gate.
And what about your gate in Gorse Hill and Doggy, you plank, ya?
Well, that's a personal assault.
What the hell was that?
But seriously, Taoiseach, have you any regrets about Garglegate?
Probably.
Probably? That doesn't sound very remorseful.
No, the pints of probably. Carlsberg, you eat. It'll be an awful pain in the loaf next day. I should have stuck to the Guinness and it would have been grand.
Finally, what now for Ireland? Where can we go from here?
I think it's important that we have changed.
Yeah.
And not just change for change's sake. I'm talking about real change in politics in Ireland.
Yeah, by the way, who's replacing you on the ticket in Laois Offaly?
Your brother Barry.
Oh dear.
He's a good lad, you know. He looks like me, talks like me, thinks like me. He'll probably top the pound.
He can't tell you what Ireland's VAT rate is, yet he's a keen knowledge of the inner workings of banks. Well, the Northern Bank, that is. Enter the Baron of Northstead, a.k.a. Grizzly Adams.
Well, a very good morning to you, Jerry Adams from Sinn Féin.
Oh yes, the Baron of Northstead, the man who took the job with the crown.
Well,
when O'Brodick and O'Connell led the Provost, they were the most effective revolutionary movement in Europe.
Hang on.
Now yous are just a crown plaything.
That's not...
So, Jerry, are you going to give the County Louth constituency your best shot?
With respect.
Will the Northern Bank support your election bid?
Okay, look...
You could say you were the parachute candidate.
Aye.
The economy wouldn't exactly be your deadliest weapon now, would it?
Not true.
How many fingers am I holding up then?
I very poor eyesight, you understand.
Well, how would you recapitalise the banks there?
Capitalise?
You haven't a Scooby-Doo.
You seem to be a very politically minded, witty and clever person, okay?
Yeah.
May I have your name for the election database, please?
Certainly. It's Stephen Staunton.
Okay.
Professor of Political Science there.
One last thing, could you direct me to Dundalk, please?
You're in it.
Oh, for frick's sake, Pierce.
So we're nearing the end of this morning's radio presentation, and what an array of amazing characters we've met. Ricky Mickey Martin living La Lisli Loca to Gilbore, more. How do you like it? And now the end is near, and the bloody Green Baron of, well, Belfast. What's to become of us? Until next time, Sloan August... IMF?
This is a message from the Missing Persons Bureau of An Garda Síochána. Gardaí are seeking information on the whereabouts of an elderly male gentleman who has failed to respond to requests for him to appear before a televisual debate with his peers. Now, this individual appears to be in a state of distress, confusion, and may be suffering from clinical paranoia. He is described as 5'6" in height, with sandy-coloured hair, a Mayo native, nearly 60 years of age. He answers to the name Kenny, Enda Kenny, or alternately the Ginger Nut. Anyone with information is asked to please contact their local branch of the Irish Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Donkeys. Thank you.
Yes, that's it now. Yeah, it's left to Vincent Brown to wrap up proceedings here now. Just a reminder that all characters appearing in Green Tea are fictitious. Any resemblance to real persons, living or dead, is purely, entirely intentional. Also, no Conor Lenahans were harmed in the making of the... I spoke too soon. Here's Crazy Horse now. Here he comes.
Vincent, back off.
No,
back off now,
I
Vincent.
will not.
And how come I wasn't invited on the show before now?
I don't want you falling asleep on air again, Conor.
I resent that comment, Vincent. I really do. I resent that comment. You're questioning, and it's the sneering undertones in that question. I resent that. I really do. Back off. Back off.
I reserve the right to grill you like a kebab anytime.
I resent that too. I resent that comment.
Back off, Crazy. Now, also a reminder that there is no Tribune tomorrow, sadly, but I will be selling old copies of McGill and Village Magazine from the boot of my car after Mass in Jockey. Don't forget, house for sale, and that's it. I think that's it. Is there anything from you, Crazy?
I just want to say to Charlie O'Connor and Tala, back off, Charlie, back off.
That's it, Green Tea, back next Saturday. Bye-bye, goodbye, morning.